Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today for you I have a review. I'm going to be doing a review of the Living in Color palette by Hank and Henry. So this was in this past month's BoxyCharm, the March BoxyCharm. And if you guys watched my palette ranking video, I just recently did a video where I ranked every single palette in my collection, and this guy was ranked dead last. There just wasn't a whole lot that appealed to me. This is what the color story looks like. It's okay. I just feel like there's a lot of wasted space. The packaging is really bulky for like no reason. I kind of like the skater vibes that I feel like this thing has, but I don't know. Other than that, it's not overly impressive. Some of the shade, like this shade's kind of cute. Maybe this one up here, but like I wasn't completely wowed. But I ended up using the palette this morning with a look that I did earlier today that, as you can tell, I've clearly taken off. And it ended up being more pigmented than when I swatched it. So I was like, okay, maybe I gave this one a bad rep. I should actually probably do some legitimate swatches and testing of it. And then upon further inspection, I compared it to the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place. And let me just hold these up side by side for you here. So it's actually quite a similar color story, which I was like, I was kind of mind blown a little bit. I was like, because I love the color story of the Saharan 2. I love everything about it. So then I was like, why don't I like this Hank and Henry one? But today we're going to be reviewing the Hank and Henry one, and we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of the two. Now, clearly there are some colors in here in the Saharan 2 that are not in the Hank and Henry, and vice versa. But on my arm, I'm going to be swatching both of them, one on top and one on the bottom. The dupes will be swatched side-by-side, and then the other colors, you know, they aren't going to be dupes. You know that. That's fine. And then I'm going to be doing one eye using the Saharan 2 and one eye using the Hank and Henry, and we will see how they compare to each other and overall what my thoughts are after actually using the Hank and Henry palette, because I did rank it before really getting the chance to use it, and so I feel like maybe I jumped the gun a little bit and I just need to play around with it a little bit more. So we are just going to jump right into the review. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start with the packaging, and then I am going to talk about swatches, and then we are going to do one eye with the Hank and Henry Living in Color and the other eye with the Saharan 2. So as I mentioned in my ranking video, and I just mentioned at the beginning of this video, I like the whole skateboarder edge, like edgy, not quite emo, but like harsher vibes of this, but at the same time it's still bright and colorful. I mean, it is called the Living in Color palette, so I do like that, but this packaging is just so thick and bulky, and for such small pans, I don't quite get the point of it. And yeah, there's a lot of wasted space on this component here. I feel like if you would put these together, you could easily get 3 or 4, like you could easily create another row and add a 4th shade to every row. Like you could totally expand the amount of colors that you put in here. So it does come with a mirror, which is really nice. Not all of my palettes come with that. The Saharan 2 does not. And it is a pretty decent mirror. I'm into that, so this is one that you could totally use just like as a vanity mirror if you're like me, and that's what you do anyway. So yeah, I like that. And then I have swatched it, and I'm about to put a swatch comparison up right here. Overall, the mattes swatch okay. The metallics do not. So as you can tell in that picture that I just put up, first of all, the first 4 colors are the colors that are duped. So I'm looking at my arm here, that's why I keep looking down, sorry. The first 4 colors are the ones that are pretty dupe-like, and then after that there's some similarities, but they're definitely not supposed to be the same color. But the first 4 are like, wow. But I did find that the mattes swatched better than the metallics. The metallics just do not have a lot of pigment. It's mostly just glitter. It reminds me of something that I would buy at like Claire's or something. I'm not like bashing Claire's, but like just compared to what I use now, it's not the best quality. And obviously the metallics from the Saharan 2 swatch so much better. They perform so much better. Swatches are not always representative of what they are on my eye. So I'm going to go ahead and do one eye with the Saharan 2 palette, and then I'm going to come back and try to recreate the other eye with the Hank and Henry Living in Color palette. So I'm going to jump ahead and I will see you then. So this is the eye look that I came up with for the Saharan 2 palette. The greenish blue on the inner corner here and the blue on the lower lash line here. I know that those are not going to be the same between the palettes, but the other colors that I used are the ones that were the dupes. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the Hank and Henry palette, and we're just going to see what happens. I'm going to follow the exact same steps that I did before and see how this turns out. And I'm going to use the mirror on the Hank and Henry palette, because why not? So the first color I'm going to dive in with is this guy right here. That's the orangish shade. I'm also really sorry if I'm not in focus. I don't have my contacts in, so I can't actually tell if I'm in focus because it just looks blurry to me right now. So, very sorry. I'm just going to go in. Oh, that's pigmented, alright. Okay, that's good, because the other one is pigmented too. I'm taking this big fluffy Luxie brush, by the way. I'm trying to use circular motions to blend it out. So now I'm going to take my crease brush from Moda, and I'm going to take the brown that's right above it. I'm going to put that on the outer crease. So one thing I can look at right now by picking these up on my brush, they are very powdery. They have a lot of kickback. I also just saw a big chunk of it just fluff up away from my eye. But it is still looking pretty pigmented, like the Saharan 2. I think once I blend that out, it'll be a little more even. Here. There we go. I'd say it's pretty even. Cool. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the closest thing to a dupe from this palette for that inner corner blue greenish color, which is this guy right here. And I'm going to put that on like the inner corner of my eye. See how that goes. It definitely looks nothing like its counterpart. It's pretty though. It's going on better than it's swatched, which is good. I'm going to keep that color on my hand, and then I'm going to go in with this color right here, which is like a reddish metallic. I'm going to put that into the middle of my eye. Looking pretty similar, at least to my view. Again, I don't know how much you guys can see it right now. And then I'm going to take this orangish brown down here, and that's going to go on the outer corner. As you can tell, I like applying lid shadows with my fingers. I don't know why. I just think it's more effective. Actually not bad comparing the two of them. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with this angled liner brush here, and I'm going to take that same brown that I put in the crease, and it's going to go on the outer portion of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take this little shader brush right here, this accent brush, and I'm going to go in with this dark blue that's over here. Obviously that is not shimmery unlike this one over here, so I know that's going to be different, but I just really like putting blue on my lower lash line, what can I say? Okay, so this is what we are working with the comparison. So again, this is the Saharan 2 eye, and this is the Hank and Henry eye. they're actually pretty similar. Obviously this one has some eyeliner, but they're actually pretty similar in the way of eye looks. Like that's pretty impressive. Well, there's all kinds of eyeshadow under here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up any fallout that I have, put eyeliner on this eye and mascara on both of them, and I'm gonna zoom back out and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey everybody, so we are back. Like I said, this is the comparison. We got Hank and Henry, or sorry, Saharan 2 over here, Hank and Henry over here. Very, very similar, as you guys can tell. I'm gonna put my glasses back on so I can actually see what I'm doing. So as I mentioned, as I was doing it, the mattes especially have a lot of kickback when you put a very fluffy brush in there. I had the most problem with kickback with the dark brown. I don't tend to mind kickback. It's just an extra step to brush off my palette, not a huge deal. But if you're someone who doesn't like kickback, that's definitely something to note. Compared to the Saharan 2, very, very similar. I personally like the color story and the pigmentation in Saharan 2 a little bit better. And I'm pretty sure the Saharan is cheaper than this palette. I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if I can look up the retail value of this guy. Okay, so the regular price of the Hank and Henry palette is $27. And I believe the regular price of this palette is $20. Let me double check that. Yes, the regular price of this guy is $20. So overall, in my opinion, a better color story and a lot better of a value. First of all, it's already cheaper, but the pan size in comparison, there's no competition there. This is a better value in my opinion, and this is just a really, really good brand. It's been very consistent for me. Hank and Henry, this is the first eyeshadow palette I've tried, so I can't speak to any of their other eyeshadow palettes. The mattes are good. The metallics are eh. There's nothing special about them, but they're not as bad as I originally thought they were. Overall, it's not a bad palette. It still probably ranks lowest in my collection, but not because I don't like it anymore. I'm still not crazy about it, but I have more of an appreciation for this palette than I first thought I did. So I am glad that I ended up doing this and comparing and trying out, because it did end up turning out a lot better than I thought it was going to, and it raised my expectations for this palette. So I think I will be playing around with this a little bit more. But that is everything that I have for you guys. Is there one of these that you have tried and have different opinions on? Do you have an opinion on which one is better? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'm hoping that I can maybe do some more of these dupe videos for you. I think that would be really fun. This was the first like dupe palette in my collection that I found, which was really, really cool. So I had a lot of fun filming this, and the two eye comparison, it's a real good time. Also, in case anyone is interested, I don't know how long the sale is going on, but the Saharan 2 is actually $12 right now. There's a sale going on Juvia's Place. They are constantly having sales. You should definitely check them out. They are running a sale right now where I believe all the 9-pan palettes are $12. So if you don't have your hands on any of the 9-pans, you should totally get them. Their 9-pans are amazing. Love them. So good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. Please leave a like and please subscribe to my channel. I'm really hoping that when I hit 100 subscribers, I can do a giveaway for you guys. I would really, really love to do that. Maybe a ColourPop item, maybe a Morphe item, a favorite drugstore item of mine. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I would really love to be able to do that giveaway for you guys. So please, please, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, everybody.